Hey guys, Dirk Mercer here and Brian Colbank, and we're here in the Suncrest Town Center in Morgantown, West Virginia on January 17th, 2015. And we're here celebrating a one-year anniversary, January 17th, 2014, when Brian was in a spot similar to right where we're standing right now, and you can see Pro Performance in the background. Brian, if you would, just kind of walk people, what happened that day a year ago?
I decided to make a change. I was going to come to the gym and start working out. I had a membership. A busy day. I had to park in this spot right here. Couldn't make it to the gym. I was too out of shape, too fat basically, to walk from my car to the gym building right back there behind us. I made it about halfway here in a minute. I'll walk down to the distance I made it. But the difference between then and now is amazing. Thank this guy right here for introducing me to the challenge. He basically saved my life. As of today, I'm down 166 pounds. I don't even know how to explain it. How much different I am. I can say this. I was standing in 6X sweatpants that day. I'm standing in 2X sweatpants right now. I'm wearing 3X shirts, almost down to 2X shirts, and I was in 6X, 5X shirts. That's an easy way to explain it to anybody out there that doesn't really know, how to fathom that.
And guys, I know his story, and I'm still blown away every time I hear it. When I hear him explain those sizes, it's hard to wrap my mind around the difference that this guy has made in 1 year. He was able to coach his kids' t-ball team, coach his kids' football team. Before, he was a guy leaning on the fence yelling. Now he's out there running around the bases with his kids. And we have that ability to put something in nutrition into people's mouths that actually help them, that actually makes them feel better. I can tell you that I feel so much better when I'm on my product all the time, and the clarity that I feel, and I don't get that 2 o'clock feeling anymore, which I just assumed was part of life when I ate lunch. I just assumed that was part of life. And so that's the difference in a year. We're here right in New Year's resolutions time, and some people may have already gotten off their resolutions. Brian came out a year ago on the 17th, decided to make a difference, do something. He tried, and 4 days later I messaged him about the challenge. And so Brian, I'll just kind of let you walk through and kind of just explain, that day.
You guys, I got out of the car and I, took my bag and I started to walk, and I was walking, and right about here I could remember feeling a little bit of pain in my back. I started tightening up a little bit. I was walking a little bit farther, and I'll show you here. I haven't got too much closer. Still pretty far away. I remember thinking about here going, wow, man, I'm so out of shape. Right about here, my knees started to buckle, started to feel it in my knees. Couldn't understand what was going on. Knew I had bad knees, but I didn't think they were that bad. By the time I got here, I could barely breathe. My knees, my back, my breath. I got to right about here, and I'll show you the gym. That's about as close as I could get before I had to stop. I was huffing, I was puffing. I could barely stand up, really. My back was tightened up, my knees were hurting. I made the decision at that point there was no need to go to the gym because I wasn't going to be able to do anything once I got there, so there was no point to do it. So I turned around and slowly walked back to the car, trying not to hurt myself anymore. The difference it makes now, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, work out. This morning I started my second Biggest Loser challenge. Got second place on the last one. This one I'm going to win it. There's no doubt in my mind. So basically, if you're watching this and you're where I was last year at this time, contact me. If you're friends with Dirk, contact Dirk. We can change your life, and in the process of changing your life, you can help affect the lives of, hundreds, thousands of kids in the Morgantown area. We've now got a location in Morgantown where we're donating meals. It's going to be awesome. We're going to change lives. We'd love to have you on our team. Dirk, do you have anything else you want to say?
Absolutely. When you get people in the community who are so behind what you're doing, such as the Haas Foundation, which is what Brian's sharing. Everybody knows that name, the Jeff Hostetler Foundation. We're actually partnering with them, and they're actually going to start helping us donate meals to kids. And so, as Brian shared a little bit before, when he was going through his major weight loss, we were donating 30 meals for every 10 pounds lost. Now we're donating 90 meals for every 10 pounds lost. So we're tripling that. You're able to foster a child now for 3 months. That's 1 meal a day for 3 months. And that's the kind of impact that we're having, a real impact in our community here in Morgantown.
Yeah, guys, if you have any health issues or anything you want to talk about, get in contact with us. We can put you in contact with a doctor friend of ours that's on the program as well. He can go over anything and help alleviate any questions you have. The simple thing is you have to make a decision. On that day, 1 year ago today, I made a decision that when I found something, I was going to take it. Dirk was good enough to challenge me and introduce me to the challenge, and it changed my life. It changed my family's life. I was just thinking back this week, I was able to actually play with my sons. Last year this time I couldn't have got down on the floor and played with them. It wouldn't have happened. I'd been sitting in the chair while they played. So it's a life changer. It's a life-changing event that'll happen in your life. You have to make that decision for yourself though. So if you have any questions or anything, just give us a call, give us a message, Facebook, whatever you need to do, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.